I've always wanted to be Morocco-bound since discovering North African cooking. Trevor sets foot in the Sahara with this week's guest cook.
Yes, indeed, my treat this week with a taste from the imagination, or at least the inspiration, of Arto Der Haroutunian. Now, why have you chosen to specialise in North African cookery?
I find it very exciting. It hasn't been done in a proper sense, and also it's a mixture of intriguing mixture of Europe, Southern Europe, Middle East, and Africa, proper Africa, which is the Berbers.
What is the crucial, the distinctive African contribution to this dish you're going to show us?
Well, the most important one is this couscous, semolina grains.
We flirted with this 2 or 3 weeks ago. What is couscous again, to remind me? It's semolina and...
Wheat. It's a mixture of the two, and it's the basic of all food of North Africa.
And this is to North African cooking what rice is, say, to Asian cooking?
Absolutely.
OK, now how do we treat the couscous?
This is what we do. We moisten it very lightly, as you can see. Not too much.
But it fluffs up enormously, doesn't it?
It starts going up, fluffing up. Then you try and get every grain moistened with the water, which would like this, and spread it. And you do this 3 times throughout the process. Every 15 or 20 minutes.
So that's the bulk and the fibre of the meal. What is the rest of it consisting of?
Well, we're going to make chicken couscous. You can do meat and fish and the rest of it. I've got butter and onion frying here. Now I start adding the other ingredients. This would be blanched tomato. Put all this in, like this. Stir it a little bit. Then we add the spices and salt.
Now what are the spices?
Well, this is salt first. There's ginger, cinnamon, and beautiful cumin.
You're talking my kind of language there, I must say.
The mixture of these give that extra flavour, which is North African. But there's another item, we'll come to that later, which gives a final touch. Now we add to this water, 1.5 pints, and of course, chickpeas.
Now, how have you treated those? Have you just soaked them for a little while?
So overnight. Soak it overnight, stir it nicely again. And now we do the one I was talking about, which is this.
The mystery ingredient. Now that looks terribly frightening. What is it?
It's all hot pepper. It's called Harissa.
That's because it harrisses your mouth, is it?
It probably does. And the Harissa gives that extra touch to North African food.
That's the stuff that gets you called hot lips.
Well, could be.
So it's a bit like chilies, to be serious about it for a moment. It's a bit like chili might be used in, say,
it's a mixture of chilies and garlic. And we put this on top, and we cook for half an hour. And I...
Go on.
That.
What are the rest of the ingredients that go down below?
Right. Half an hour later, now we are going to put all the vegetables. And these are carrots again. Here we are. It's all chopped. Put all the carrots in. You can use any other kind of vegetable, but I'm using here turnip and courgettes. You can use aubergines if you like. You can use, in fact, any vegetable that's available.
It seems a very versatile recipe as far as you can use whatever is available, really.
Well, if you live in North Africa, you have no choice.
Well, fair enough. Yes,
whatever is available.
A European application of this recipe.
And not forgetting this item today, in our item, which is the chicken. Now, you could have used meat, you can use fish, you can use all the others. Thank you. That will be fine. Now, we put all this in here. Right? What we do now is simply cover it and cook.
Right, now, I'm intrigued by this exotic implement you have here, which looks like 2 pans in one. But on closer examination, I can see that essentially it's what I might use at home in the form of a colander and a big saucepan.
That's exactly what it is. These two are together, but you can use your saucepan and colander. It's the same thing, so there's no problem. But of course, all it does is steam.
But the couscous would, of course, drop through the holes in the colander, so one would line it either with muslin or I see you've suggested a tea towel.
Yes.
Let's do this for real, then, in your couscouserie.
Right, here we
are.
are.
Is the right name for it.
Now the couscous has, the grains have soaked, they've blown into nicely. We put it all in here.
And presumably the moisture will rise from the casserole beneath.
Absolutely.
And the flavour will be absorbed by the couscous. And how long would you cook that once it's all assembled like that?
When we put the couscous grains into here, stir it up nicely, we cook it for at least another 15-20 minutes. We'll cover it, and the steam will go.
Okay, and you have here?
And here I have, as you can see, a finished product. Let me put some. You put the rice or the couscous around, the vegetables in the middle, and the chicken or whatever you're using, and you put a bit more of this very hot and spicy. And you see, in a way, it looks like curry, but it isn't.
Yes,
and that's the beauty of it.
It looks terrific. Arto, thank you very much indeed. I, for one, will certainly explore more thoroughly North African cookery.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
And if you want Arto's recipe for Couscous Bil Judge or details of our chip survey, please send us a stamped addressed envelope to On the Market, Granada Television, Derby House, Liverpool, L2 3UZ. That's On the Market, Granada Television, Derby House, Liverpool, L2 3UZ. And if you've got Oracle, turn to page 163 for this week's On the Market star recipe. And that's all for this week. Next week, all about additives, very important. And our guest in the kitchen is that ace pilot of the astral plane, Russell Grant. So I'll hope to see you then. I'm not at all sure what he's going to be cooking. I wonder if he can see that far into the future. I'm looking forward to seeing what he suggests for, I think I'm Sagittarius. Don't know what Trevor is. See you then.
Excuse me a second, Arto. Thanks for being with us, and I look forward very much to you being with us again next week. Now then, I presume these dates are here for a reason. Is this part of the versatility of the dish?
Well, this is part of the versatility. We add some dates to this. You have the sweet and the hot pepper flavour.
Sweet and hot, just when I came in.
Right.
So you young, sir.
Well, why don't you come over and